The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us. Yeah, over time will be non-existent. And then I guarantee you people, if they know that waiters and or service staff is not getting taxed on their tips, they're probably going to tip less too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because you're going to go, well, you get more money on the back end, so you don't need 20% anymore.
Plus, companies can use some kind of loophole like, hey, I'm just tipping myself from the company. They just gave me a tip of $6 billion.
It's called petty cash.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yep, petty. $3.27 million. Hey, man, you can't tax that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, whatever. See, none of this makes sense.
No, I mean...
I need to read Project 2025, though, now.
It's like 8,000 pages, I think, but...
I thought it was only 900 and something.
I'm over-exaggerating, yeah. But
still, that's 1,000 pages of policy.
But yeah, for the Democrats are going to be electing a new DNC chair. There's a few old hats that are trying to get the vote. But I kind of think like they need to not some. That's the problem that they've had. Like they keep picking like these young hot shots, thinking that they're going to be able to fix everything, and you're going. You gotta be able to get somebody. One, in my mind, you got to have somebody who's like they're willing to work states like state houses and governorships and go. Okay, we might
but that's the thing. Democrats
kind of like drafting like. We're not going to win the Super Bowl for a few years.
Right.
But if we work the ground game in the farm system...
But that's the thing. Most states, like North Carolina, was a blue sweep.
Right.
Except Trump at the top of the ticket. And it was like that in several of the blue wall states.
Well, and one thing that we've mentioned several times, but I saw a dude from Mississippi...
Carrie Lake got the shit kicked out of her again, which is...
Thank God.
Yeah, seriously.
But a dude from Mississippi was just, same as we do, like just putting up the numbers. He was saying, like, he was talking to the DNC going, if you got to make your investments pay out better, and saying, like, you all don't spend one dime in Mississippi. But if you could work the ground game and you got, say, 90% of the African-American vote along with the existing...
minorities, African Americans, Latino people than white people in Mississippi.
Correct, yeah.
But look how that state's run.
Right.
That right there should tell you everything you need to know.
And it's also because the DNC just goes, well, we know we're not going to win, so they don't spend any money. But this dude was saying is that if you just got your core message out,
60% of those voters,
right? That's all you need.
Right,
yeah.
just get them out.
51% is really what you need in the end.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But to go, I mean, you could get again, state houses are a little different because of districts.
Yeah.
But you could get better representation.
Yes.
And then you could get the governorship, and then it could go blue for a presidential election.
And I hope
senators as well.
That makes perfect sense because the blue states now are trying to do that because Republicans are all about states' rights. But if the states are run by blue, the House, like all of that for the state, then it's not going to fucking matter.
Right. Well, and going back to...
unless he makes it federal.
And the same dude pointed out here in Louisiana, which, I mean, it's been a while, and it hasn't... She didn't end up very well, but we used to have a Democratic senator, Mary Landrieu.
Yes.
And then John Bel Edwards, who was a fairly popular governor twice over. And then, but like the thing is that...
And he was, but he...
The rest of the DNC kind of pushed him away because he was a pro-life Democrat. But you're going like, you got to make some of these, you got to roll the hard eight every now and then.
Exactly.
And sometimes you're not going to have...
That would actually probably work better for the Dems.
Right. Like, again, go back and...
Because then you could say, like, look, we all don't agree on this side, but we'll work to something.
Yeah.
No, they don't fucking do that.
And I don't think that the Democrats need to go what a lot of people are saying now, like they need to go hard left.
Fuck no. Nope.
But I think again, what Bernie has been saying, though, I think is right, is that you got to get back to your bread and butter, and that somehow the Democrats now or the DNC only wants to appeal to college-educated
women.
White, yeah.
Or white people.
Yeah. And you're going and that's what you saw in this election. I think Bernie accurately pointed out was like the working class people were like, no, we're going to go with the guy that presents that he knows money.
Right.
It's like we'll roll the hard 8 on that dude. But okay. I don't think that they thought about the overall consequences of it though. So.
All right. So there's no checks and balances at this point.
No. I mean, can the Senate filibuster
shit?
Yeah, but I would not be surprised if all
they
of a sudden,
got rid of it.
Yeah,
Mitch McConnell on his way out trying to like wipe his ass a little bit was like, we were not getting rid of the filibuster.
Right.
I was like, yeah.
But under new leadership, guy could come in and go.
God, I wish I wrote down the 3 names too. I none of them stood out to me.
No, because I mean it's going to be. Ugh. Yeah, they're.
Right. Who will be in the House? Mike Johnson still?
Yeah. But he'll be Speaker of the House. Yeah.
Still is.
He'll maintain the speakership, and now because he manipulated it just right to stay in good favor with the MAGAs.
Right. I think he was hedging his bets on the election. Too.
Yeah.
Like he knew he was fucked. Well, I mean, they all knew they were fucked if the GOP lost.
Yeah.
So he was doing the same thing. Hey, you know what?
But you're going to see, majority of Trump's cabinet is already going to be pre-approved. So on January 20th, they're fully functional.
Like all the list that's coming out.
Yeah.
So, question, because speaking of the list, like Jericho said, you just made the list. If you know, you know. So
we don't get Chris Jericho references that often.
No. So, like Mark Rubio, what happens to his position? They have a snap election, so he's not a senator or a rep anymore because he took a job as whatever the fuck he's doing. So what happens if a rep leaves their rep job, whether it's the House or the Senate?
Well, so Senate, the governor of the state appoints the replacement until the next election cycle for that office.
I'm not worried
so
about
that's
the Senate.
why
it's more the House.
Right. So House you would end up having to have a special election. So you generally don't pull reps.
But he has.
Oh, what, like Stefanik?
Yes. Yeah. And there was one other one. The chick in New York. Or was she a senator? No, that's Stefanik.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she's a rep.
No. Nome?
Oh, she's the governor of South Dakota.
So she's governor. So what would they do there? Have another snap election or...
Yeah, or they'll do lieutenant governor will take over.
Until they can do an election?
Yeah.
There was one other one.
Or they might hold a special one. Like, she might be in the last year of her term, so...
Like, I don't know. Stephen Miller is clearly not in the administration now, but this fucking Gargamel motherfucker is going to be deputy chief of staff.
Which is, he's fucking Bradley Whitford.
And some, yeah, that's exactly.
Donna!
And then his chief of staff was
his campaign manager.
Correct, but she also worked with like DeSantis.
Yeah.
To get him elected, and then she was like, "Fuck that little guy, I'm gonna go with Trump now." Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the big boy.
She worked her way up. Now she's chief of staff. What was the other the border guy? Fuck, what is his name?
Yeah, he's got his borders are, and then he announces
Mike Huckabee.
Yeah, as an ambassador, and then he announced his EPA.
Listen to this. You know what he just announced? John Ratcliffe is chosen as Trump's pick to lead the CIA. The former head of intelligence. You know, that was Trump's former head of intelligence.
Oh, no.
A Texas rep.
Oh, no.
Critical of investigations into Trump while Congress was later served of his impeachment. Exposing fake Russian collusion to be a Clinton campaign operation. That's who Trump praised him for that.
Oh, that's good. So we have a conspiracy theorist going to be in charge of the CIA.
Correct.
For 10 years.
Is that how it is?
Yeah. It's like the FBI. Although the CIA director is not as powerful as they used to be.
No.
But whoever his director of national intelligence is,
right,
that's the one to look for, because that's the one who oversees like NSA, CIA. Oh, so that's the dude he's nominating for the director of national intelligence.
Let's see here. Head of intelligence is what it said.
Oh, God.
So he was head of intelligence. Now he's leading the CIA.
Oh, okay.
Proper.
Yeah.
Which means he's head of intelligence.
Yeah, but like CIA reports now to a higher up. They're now just.
Oh, you mean they have George Soros.
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton.
Sort of, but it's
they have Hunter Biden's laptop.
More like a corporate structure in that I think it was.
Severance.
It might have been during the Obama administration, but they were because George Tenet did such a shit job under George W. Bush that they were like, all right, we can't have that happen again. So we have to have somebody who oversees all the intelligence agencies.
A CEO of intelligence.
Right. So it's that my buddy doesn't have a job. Let's create the manager of managers.
Right. Exactly. It's fucking.
He's going to teach the managers how to manage.
I need a 15-minute.
He's really good at he's really good at PowerPoints.
So oh my God, we touched on 6.
I was just saying, Well, I mean, the theme is so far is that people who are the least qualified.
And it was like that for the first one, but he still had people in there that had a spine. Like Betsy DeVos was in charge of the Department of Education. That won't be here anymore. That he's already stated that.
Yeah.
Even though I guess it would have to pass the Senate, but only with a 51% margin. I mean,
yeah,
he doesn't need a supermajority to get rid of a department like that.
No, he would. although that's under the executive branch, I don't think he needs congressional approval.
Perfect.
I mean, and even then, if it comes down to any of those departments he doesn't want, if Congress is like, no, you can't do that,
he can just cut funding.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to pay y'all anything.
Which, I mean, just to get onto this, because, I mean, it should scare you. It scares me. And, down here, what you got to worry about is that if they effectively close the Department of Education, that means Title I funding goes away.
Yep.
As well as enforcing Americans with Disabilities Act. So meaning any student with a learning disability.
Correct. No more IEPs.
Yeah, that's funding is cut.
Yep.
And so down here, where most of these schools rely on Title I funding.
Correct.
So without that,
because everything here is basically a charter school.
Right.
Yeah.
So then schools are going to start shutting down left and right.
And then it'll be...
And they're going to try and cram the remaining kids into the remaining schools, which of course they're not going to have room for. So then all those teenagers are going to be left at home. And in cities like New Orleans...
Yeah, that's exactly
what are they going to turn to?
You got to keep the people stupid.
Well, but it's you're going to see, particularly in urban areas, crime rates are going to go up.
Oh, well, they don't give a shit. Those are dim-run cities, man.
That's true, yeah.
We don't care. Look at
So we just answered our question. That's how they blame it on the Democrats. The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top-quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.